If you have any questions, or if you, and we have the speakers as well, definitely you want to know more about them and you probably want to know more about the topic, please feel free to use the chat. We always want to hear from you. It's not a bad time. Anytime you can ping it, we will gonna read it. Or any of the feedback you want to share as well. We are happy to have that. And all the feedbacks are appreciative, positive, negative, what you have. We are happy to improvise in this meetup. But I hope we can make it more interactive. And again, I'll probably touch base with women who mule leaders. You can see there is a snapshot of the leaders across the globe, and you might have heard them in different events. And who we are the Women Who Mule leaders for the APAC team. And those who don't know me, my name is Sonal Sharma. I'm based out of Melbourne, and I'm currently working as Associate Director with Capgemini. I'm always very passionate about the Women Who Mule, either at work or socially as well. And very active, and this is kind of a passion for me from a long time now. I have another passionate woman with me, Raji. Those who attended previous meetup know more about Raji. She's based out of Bangalore. She's in the Salesforce ecosystem as well from long. And let's take a closer look of what the MuleSoft community ecosystem look like. So you can see in the global MuleSoft community, we have various meetups group, we have the mentors, and we have the ambassadors. And then we have the MuleSoft Help Center where you also guys know that you can ask questions anytime and you can get the knowledge here, and you can get your answers. There is a little bit of snapshot of some of the alumni over there, some of the ambassadors over there, and some of the meetup group photos. You can see it. And as always, I'm very happy to know if you guys want to join our team, or you want to participate in our team, or you want to know more about any of these programs. I'm happy to have a chat. Next is, you can see these are the community meetup community in APAC. Only we have 58 and across 12 countries. So you can see the presence is quite big. And without any, I would probably request my colleague Raji to introduce the first speaker of the day.
Hello, everyone. Firstly, warm welcome. Right, I think we are doing the first Women Who Mule APAC meetup in 2024, as Sonal said. For those who don't know me, my name is Raji, and as Sonal was saying, I've been in the Salesforce ecosystem for more than 12 years now. So right now I'm with Accenture. I lead the Salesforce Solution Architecture Group. I also lead the India MuleSoft practice for Accenture. Based out of Bangalore. I'm married, have two kids, aged 12, and the elder one is son, younger one is daughter, aged 7. So very passionate about the Women Who Mule group, right? And very excited to introduce the first speaker for today, Aarti. And I'm going to give you a lot of time, Aarti, to introduce yourself. But she, as you see in the bio, right, in the screen, she's a avid traveler, loves traveling. She is currently in Australia for working for a healthcare provider, and she was in India. She had worked in London, and I think that summarizes what she has mentioned there. But over to you, Aarti, to give a more detailed introduction about yourself, and to let you talk uninterruptedly. I'll put my questions also already to you. How do you travel so much? One, how do you manage your work-life balance with the travel? I'm sure it's a passion. Otherwise, I don't think it's easy to manage that, right? So over to you,
Yeah,
Aarti. Yeah.
thanks. Thank you so much, Raji. Yeah, that is so true. I love traveling. I mean, I won't miss any chance where I get to visit any new place. So yeah, that's true. Hello everyone. As I said earlier as well, I'm Aarti Pathak. So I started my career in India. I started with Wipro, and yeah, initial two, like I'm in the area of mules of integration from last 7 8 years now. Um, and I got opportunity to work in all the MuleSoft versions 3.8, 9, and now in 4. Starting in India, luckily I got on-site opportunity, and that's where I ended up in London. I worked in London. I love UK actually. It's very beautiful, except weather, of course. UK is overall very beautiful. So I was in there, and then I got switched as well. I made switch, and I was with Accenture London for some time. And last year, Feb, I got married, and so that's the reason I had to move from London to Australia. It was a big decision. I'm a person who socialize a lot, so leaving all my good friends, good connections, good house and housemates, I had to leave everything and come here, where I just knew one person, I guess. That was my colleague back in India, 2014. So I met that colleague in 2023 last year. So that's how I ended up here. But it was all worth. Australia is beautiful as well. I borrowed all my husband's friend, and now they are more of my friend than my husband's. So I have my friend circle here as well. So yeah, um, uh, you won't believe right now as well. So this is the thing, Raji. When I love traveling, so when I join any firm, I look for this thing: how much remote can I get? So in the current firm as well, I have negotiated to work remotely for some time. And even though when I say I'm in London, I'm Melbourne, based in Melbourne. Right now, I'm in Tasmania on a 3 months trip to Tasmania. Tasmania is a small island south through Australia, and for 3 months, I have my limited luggage in the car, hopping around in other parts of Tasmania, and working from other areas in Tasmania. I was able to convince my manager for 3 months. So, yeah, that's all about me, I guess. Thank you.
Fantastic, Aarti. Yeah, I should say I'm a little bit opposite of you. I'm a lazy traveler. I like traveling, but a bit lazy. And I think I was also very inspired, right? That you telling that you ask for it, right? And you demand what you want in terms of when you join a firm. And I think that's something probably the new folks who are coming in. It's a learning, right? Because there's always hesitation of to ask for what you really need and what will make you really fit into the organization and give your fullest, right? So
Yeah.
definitely inspiring, I think.
Now,
Yeah,
one thing, Raji, I want to still make a point here. So you can't just go and ask them. Like, so what my approach normally is, I join
yeah,
any firm like a very good employee. I work hard. I prove my work. When I get their
yeah,
confidence on me that this girl is really
correct.
worth of having, then I start telling that, see, I'm doing this good amount of work. Can you please help me here? And that's the
Yeah,
negotiation, a kind of negotiation you
yeah,
you
yeah,
have. You get that trust from them, right?
right. Yeah,
Mm.
fantastic, Arti. So over
Thank
to
you.
you. I think we can go over to the tech session so that you have enough time to cover the tech topic as well. So yeah,
Sure. Sonal, can we move on to the next slide? We'll start the pom.xml file
sure.
presentation. Thank you. Yeah, so what are we gonna cover today? Pom.xml file, I know it is a very common topic. Most of you must know about it, would know about it, and of course, more than what I'm gonna discuss or cover today. So I know it is a very common topic, and you might have more knowledge than what I'm going to discuss. But still, I chose this topic just in case if there are some beginners who are not aware about like a very good opportunities, very good functionalities of pom.xml file. So that's the reason I picked this up, and I'll try my best to make it interesting. But we'll see what pom.xml file is all about, what are the child elements, then other tags which pom.xml file contains. Few of them are like dependencies, plugins, properties, repository, and then plugin repository, and how does the build works with pom.xml file. So we can actually talk a lot about other components, but considering time limit, I'm going to cover these topics here with the flows lifecycle. So yeah, introduction. So what's pom.xml file exactly is? Let me put it like this. So for example, you want to construct a building, let's say. So when you want to construct a building, the very basic thing, very first thing what you would look for is the blueprint. So once you have the blueprint of a building, then the next step is going to construct the actual building. Similarly, when it comes to mule project, whenever you go and say, I want to create a new project, as soon as you create a new project, a folder structure appears in the project explorer, and the pom.xml file, last file in the project explorer, is the key file which is gonna contain all the configuration details of your project, whatever you are gonna implement next. So the full form is project object model file. So this is the configuration file, whatever you will do next in the flows or in your build. So all the configuration details will be present here in this pom.xml file. We also have, in short, I'll cover parent pom as well. So pom.xml file every project will have. Sometime it requires to have parent pom as well. What is the use of parent pom? So parent pom is like, let's say you have multiple project having common dependencies. Okay, so having those common dependency in every project will lead you in a situation where tomorrow if you want to change any version of any dependency or something, then you will have to go and change that in every project. It's a tedious task. So what you would like to do is having a parent pom, where you, in your individual pom, in your individual project, you will refer to this parent pom, and all the configuration present in the parent form will get inherited in your individual projects. So tomorrow if you want to do any change in any of the common dependency, you just do it in parent form, and that will automatically get reflected in the other projects where you are making reference of that parent form. So that's all about introduction. Identifying child elements. So I'll start from like what is the beginning, how does pom.xml file starts. So um, pom.xml file start with the child element where we have project. Sunil, can you say enter one more time? There will be next screen appearing here on the same. Yeah, yeah, right, this one. So, oops, we are on the next screen. Yes, thank you so much, Sonal. So this is how the pom.xml file starts. So it has the project where it gives you schema details. Then it has the model version, group ID, artifact ID, version, packaging, and name. These are the crucial elements. Why? Because so these are configurable element. Very first thing is the group ID is the ID which will identify which group does your project is gonna sit with. So for example, you are creating one custom connector or anything, then you can say okay, com dot custom connector dot your company name or anything. It is a customizable name, group ID. Then you have artifact ID, which is nothing but your project name, and then the versions. All these value comes and create the name of your final target jar. So you see, whenever you build your project, whenever you say build, a target file get generated in the project folder. Under target you get a jar file created. That jar file gets its name from these elements, and that is what ultimately is the jar which you deploy in server, cloud hub, or on-prem, anywhere. So these are the elements which are group ID, artifact ID, version, and packaging. That those plays key role to generate that target file name. Can we please move on to the next screen, please? Dependencies. Then the other element in the pom.xml file is dependencies. Let's consider dependencies as your Lego building blocks. So coming back to our example where I said, if you want to construct any building, you would need a blueprint. Now, okay, you have a blueprint. What next you need? You need Lego building blocks so that you keep all the Lego building blocks on top of each other, or just give them support, and that's how the building get constructed. Similarly, these Lego building blocks in our pom.file, that role is getting played by dependencies. So it is good, right? If you want to connect to database or any queue or any external system, you just drag and drop the connector, give the configuration, and done. You don't need to do any other work. That's the beauty of MuleSoft. But how in the back end it is able to connect to that particular connector? How does it get all the detail, all the dependencies? So that dependencies pom.file xml will have under the dependencies tab. There you know, okay, what is the version of the connector you are using when you drag and drop, and rest of the details. Dependencies are of two type, local and global. Very first time when you build your project, all the dependencies are global, so it goes and download it from any external source. but once you have them second time onwards, they become local, because when you download them, it stores it in .mul folder. So in the .mul folder it sits, and next time when you run it again, don't go and download it, refer to .mul folder first. If the dependency is present there, it becomes local dependency and it make use of that. If it is not present, then it goes and download if you have, let's say, added a new connector in that case. So that's how dependencies are in a way Lego building blocks when we construct any building. Can we move on to the next one, please? Plugins. Plugins, these are another important component when it comes to pom.xml file. So consider plugins as your toolkit. So you have Lego building blocks, but what next? To construct, to make use of that Lego building blocks, you need to join them, you need to stick them, you need to have a screwer to screw them, right? And that's how they're gonna make stable construction. Similarly, plugins are a toolkit in pom.xml file. So what plugins does, they does the actual work. So you have the dependency, but after having dependencies, the toolkit, the plugins will do the actual work. When I say actual work, it cleans your project. For example, anything you could think of, it cleans your project, it builds your project, it tests your applications. So any actual activity, any real time work is getting done by plugins. Dependencies just make sure that all the libraries jars are available, but making use of that jars and other library files, making use of that is getting done by plugins. So plugins are the actual task, doing things, doing components. The difference between plugin and dependencies, that is what I talked about. So if you see here, I wrote this again. Although the syntax is quite similar, they have the group ID, they have the artifact ID, they also have the version, quite similar to dependencies, but dependencies are just, they make sure that everything is available. Now whatever is available, getting use of that, using that is using those available libraries is plugin, what does the actual task on them. uh, Properties. So we have discussed dependencies, we have discussed plugins. Properties are I would say, I'll stick to my example. So let's say you have Lego building blocks, you have a toolkit, you have constructed that, but in the huge building you need lift, you need light settings, but you don't want any manual activity there. Somebody go and switch on the light, switch off the light. You want something centric where you can centrally do something and it affects everywhere. You switch off the main switch and the lights get switched off. You switch off the lift in case of any damage lift has caused. You switch off the lift from a central repository. You don't want any granular activity to be done, and that's what the property does in when it comes to MuleSoft pom.xml file. So let's say you have one configuration. Let's say M unit. Here I have given example of Maven plugin version. So let's say any plugin you have used which has a version and you are making use of that plugin at multiple places down in your pom.xml file. So when you make reference to any plugin or any dependency at multiple times, then you would not want to change its version if it gets changed in the future, to go everywhere down in the XML file and change it individually. So it is similar to, like, how to say this, in HTTP requester, you won't give anything hard coded in the connector or in the database connector. You won't hard code anything. You will try giving it in property file and referring it from there, because tomorrow if anything changes, you don't have to go and change the code, just changing the property would help. Similarly, in pom.xml file, you have properties tab where you give the version name, and with the version name you can then make, it's a key value pair kind of thing. So you define the version here and make use of that reference at multiple places down in your project. And if you want to change the version tomorrow, you can just come and change it in properties tab. Every other place in the pom.xml file where you have made a reference to that um, component, the version will get reflected, changed, reflected from property tab. So that's all about properties. Now repository. So interesting, no, we need dependencies, um, but dependencies are nothing but Lego building block in my example. You want this Lego building block, but where it is gonna come from, this Lego building block? We need one source. We need somebody to transport that to us. So we have a warehouse, we have a truck. That truck will get the Lego building blocks from warehouse to our construction site. Similarly, repository plays the same role. You want this dependency, okay, where this dependencies is gonna come from? So we define that in under repositories tag, each repository. So we actually tell that, boss, we need this um, dependency, and here is where you need to look for. Here sometimes you have nexus layer repository, centralized other repository, community layer repository. So all these links you define, that's how you tell that, okay, I need this dependency, and this is a place this dependency is gonna come from. So it is a transporter, your truck or your warehouse, which has these details. um, and same like repository, we have plugin repository. It does the same task, but it does the same task for plugins. So repositories are for dependencies, and plugin repositories does the same activity but for plugins. Yeah, build with form. So that is how the build look likes ultimately. We know all the mule projects are Mavenized project. So when we say Mavenized project, how does it do? Like when you say build this project, it reads the pom.xml file, it downloads all the dependencies from respective repositories, and then execute the standard lifecycle, which is we will see it in the next slide actually. It executes the life cycle, executes the plugin, which are going to do actual task, and that's how the build is going to happen using pom.xml file. And here is the life cycle. See the construction, how it is happening. You have created the base, first floor, second floor, third floor, the garden, and everything is there. Similarly, we compile the code, test the compile, test what we have built, and then package it in. So this package also you can have .jar, .mule, .jar, and there is one more, I'm just missing that right now. So all this packaging is happening. That package gives you the actual deployable jar, which you deploy, and that's how you install and deploy the application. That's it from my end. Thanks everyone.
Bharti. Really appreciate it. As you also said it rightly, that this is very common topic, but I haven't thought in that way. I think so for our audience as well. It would be a bit of brainstorm to see that yes, how the plugins and how Legos and all these can fit together and how we can construct the building, which you rightly picked the analogy for. So yeah, it's a great topic, and the way you present it is great as well.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Aarti. Yeah.
Thanks, Sonal.
And to all the attendees, I request if you have any questions or you want to know, please let us know. Yeah, we'll probably try to answer your question. And without further ado, I'll call the next speaker of the day. As probably some of the people who are attending know as well, Jyoti Nimbalkar. And she's a certified MuleSoft developer and architect. She's MuleSoft mentor as well, Bangalore Meetup group as well, and she's amazing technical blog writer. And I also got an opportunity to be coach her for ambassador program, so I feel that's my privilege because she's amazing with her things, and she takes things very seriously and do amazing job. So, Aarti, I think so. These things most of the people know, but some of the people might not know that she's first-time mom as well now and came from the maternity leave recently. So, first, congratulations, Jyoti. Um,
Thank you
is
so
it
much.
a boy or girl, and how old your baby is now?
Yeah, let me talk about all of it. Firstly, hi everyone. Good morning, good afternoon. Hope you all are doing awesome. Like Sonal explained already, I'm a mentor and a blog writer and everything. But apart from all these, I'm a new mom as well. I have completed my maternity leave, which was of 6 months maternity vacation in last year April. I guess it's been 9 plus 1 months for me, um, like after the vacations. Um, yeah, yeah. Sonal, do you want to ask something?
Is it a boy or
Like how?
girl? And
Firstly,
what's the
yeah,
name?
Yeah. Yes.
yeah, Sonal,
It's
yeah,
a baby boy.
just wanted to say Sonal is also a new mom. She did
Yeah,
tell that during her introduction. So both to you and Jyoti, congrats first of all.
yeah. Thank
I
you so
think,
much,
Thanks,
yeah,
Raji.
Raji.
I think it's a very interesting phase, and wish you all the best and enjoy the phase. So yeah,
Thanks, Raji. I think you said it right word. All the best. Nobody told you what you are getting into it, but once you are in it, it's adventurous trip. I'm still trying to figure out my ways. So today we have a Jyoti. So I'm very excited to talk Jyoti about it. Probably she can tell me how is it being first time mom. How old is your bub now? It's a boy.
Um,
What's his name?
um, it's his name is Rishi, uh,
Nice.
and he is 15 months old toddler now. I was always imagining, like, as and when he grows, things will be in place, things will be better. But trust me, it's not. It's not like that, but it's not that bad as well. Sonal, like I got lucky in some matter. Like I got opportunity to work remotely. I got chance to stay with my family where I have like more than one person to take care of my baby whenever I'm busy, whenever I'm like in my absence. Uh, that is one plus point. And other than all this, I want to thank to my team also, like the team with whom I work. Right, they are totally supportive.
have we lost Jyoti or is it me?
Yeah, thank you, Raji. I was also trying to understand, is
Yeah,
it me or is it Jyoti? I think so.
yeah,
Probably we have
Jyoti.
lost Jyoti. We'll give
Yeah,
her some time to come
but
back online. Yeah.
yeah, until Jyoti comes back, Sonal, do you want to share your experiences on being a new mom? How are you managing?
I must echo what Jyoti said. It's not easy, and I always like the kids, but having your own kid is a bit of different thing. It's a different thing. It's a very beautiful thing. In means I can't replace it with any other thing. But at the same time, all the things that everyone used to say me is very true. Once you're a mother, you're a mother for a lifetime, and it's a privilege, to be honest, being a mother, to look after young, and it's so amazing to see them observing the things, learning the things. They understand the things, but they can't speak, but they let you know in their way how what they want, what they don't want. They express. Kids nowadays are not like, how my our mother used to say we were like very good kids, like she probably we didn't trouble, but nowadays kids know everything. From the day one they know the phone. They are too attractive towards phone. Yeah, but at the same time, I guess, and it's with everyone. Sleep deprived women are the time sleep deprived. My still wake up 3 hours or so, sometimes 2 to 4 hours in between. So all the time I'm sleep deprived. So in this call as well, if I'm not able to make any sense, please excuse me. I have my own reasons, but to focus on the work and to get back to a work is also it's I won't say a challenge, but it's a big thing to cope up, because your mind is so focused on this little life, and to raise that life, and you probably forget yourself, and it takes a while to get back on your feet, to understand that you are an individual as well. You take care of yours, as you need to take care of yourself, then only you're gonna able to take care of your little one. And at work as well, your focus, to get that focused mind at work where you can just simply concentrate, get the things done, um, is also a challenge, which might, if I'm saying like this, probably most of the people is not able, like what she's saying, I we don't understand, but I'm telling my experience that to have a focus at work is a challenge for me. Even if my bub is doing fine all the time, I'm thinking what I need to do next for him, so to keep your identity alive is a big challenge. Who I am. I'm a mother, but again, I'm myself. What I want my kid to see in me. Sometimes we lost that, and I was like that. I'm just trying to improve a little. My little one is still very young. He's just 9 months, so I'm still trying to figure out my routines with him. Yeah, it's a big challenge. I don't know,
Yeah,
Raji,
yeah,
how you manage with two.
yeah. I think we'll cover in the next one. I think Jyoti has joined. Jyoti, I made you the presenter. Are you able to share now? I think you're on mute, Jyoti. Sonal, I made her the presenter, right? Can you check? I think so.
Yeah, I'm just checking. Yeah,
Yeah,
she is a presenter.
yeah.
I don't have
Okay, I
related
see.
to.
Okay, I see two Jyotis. Let me turn on for the other person as well. Jyoti, are you able to?
Hi.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I'm able to.
Excellent
I'm
job.
really sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, like, when I got stopped, I was kept on talking.
Oh, is it
Then
okay? Okay.
uh, I had a like bad internet. I connected from my phone right now.
That's fine, Jyoti. You were talking about your little bub and how you're managing the work and the new and the little baby.
Yeah, I was talking about my team, like how I'm getting support from my team. Like whenever I require time for my baby, that's totally okay to provide me a bit of time. And if I'm asking them for a time. For example, if I have something to finish off, I'm telling them that I may not be able to do it right now. I'll do it after a few hours. That's totally okay. So like that, in that matter, I got lucky. But then I won't say the journey will be as smooth as it is. It sounds like each day will bring us the like new challenge. I guess Sonal, you were talking about that. um, in terms of if we talk in general, right? I don't think so. We can end this meetup today, but I'll try to cover only in terms of work-life balance. Um um, like during the work hours, I take usually 1 hour of lunch break. But whole that 1 hour goes into like preparing and feeding to my kid only, and I'll be other on the other hand, I'll be working and parallelly eating my food. uh, that is how the life changes after baby, in terms of work. And yeah uh,
I
yeah,
think so.
Sonal.
This one point you said it very well, Jyoti, that having a support, to get going in that time, is very important as well. So you talk about the support at work, right? But how about the support at home? Do you have any support at home, or how is it at home?
Yeah, definitely. I have like my whole family, like who wants, if you want to spend some time, if you want to go, like enjoy your me time, you're free to go. We are here to take care of baby. Go and enjoy, go for a trip. Like I have such kind of support from my family, both from my in-laws and my like parents, and my husband as well. Like they're all right now. He's taking care of him. Otherwise, my son is like he doesn't want to be with him all the time, but he wants to see me all the time. He wants me nearby,
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
really nice, Jyoti, because I guess having a support system in these days helps a lot,
That matters.
um, and I think so. These things, support system doesn't talk much during, like in postpartum, but I guess that's something which I can also relate to. As we didn't had support system, and I was new mom, first time mom, and doing everything for 6 months, and now my parents are here, so I can relate to what you are saying about the me time. Yes, and it's really good that you have that support system with you. Any
Yeah,
particular challenge that you want to share? I know every day you have a different challenge, or in
yeah, every day
particular.
is a challenge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, Yeah, there is one situation I faced, Sonal, which I felt during that situation. What I felt is things would be different if that would have occurred few years earlier during my career. So it was like we had a client visit of 2 to 3 days. I had to travel to another city, uh, and it was mandatory. There was no excuses allowed, right? I had my kid. He was 9 months old back then, so I do not wanted to leave him back at home. Like that was not quite possible for me. I was nursing him at the time, uh, so I had to plan it somehow. I felt really bad because why it did not occur a few years back. I would have enjoyed that place, and that place is quite away, and we do not have any relatives over there, so that we could have stayed over there along with my family. So I had to plan it very well. I asked my moms whether they can join with me, both my mother and my mother-in-law. They said okay, and I took them. I took all the utensils. I took all the groceries and the toys, which are favorite of my kid. Like at that time, he was not understanding that much, but I knew that some of the toys are favorite to him. So I had to take all these. I traveled to that city and we stayed there for 2 to 3 days. I attended the work, and at the end of the day, like after the office hours, he wanted me by his side. He used to sleep with me, right? So the whole purpose of that travel went smoothly, but only thing is, as I said, I things would be different if I was a single or before motherhood. So
Yeah,
like,
definitely you won't have that much luggage with you, or you have your luggage at the time. I can
yeah,
understand. Yeah, having the baby, when you said your utensils, you have to take care of their food. You can eat anywhere, right? But they can't, so you have to be very
yeah,
cautious about it.
yeah,
Yes, yeah, and that's good. That journey went at least good for you. Yeah, and your support group was there. Your mother and mother-in-law was there to help you
yeah.
out with that. So that's really good. Yeah.
And suddenly, my love for my parents got increased after this journey. That is one thing I want to say. I must
Did,
say,
yeah, I
yeah.
appreciate them as well to raise us now. Any last thing, Jyoti, before we get to the topic? Any tips for new mom you want to share? Like me, I'm very
Um,
much interested.
yeah, some of the suggestions from my end is both for if you're planning for a maternity leave, please go ahead and talk to your HRs and managers well before 2 to 3 months. Let them know there must be some documentations you have to do. Let your family know about it whenever you are not available so that they can take care of it. And after maternity, just understand the procedure, how it will be joining back to work. For me, it was very smooth. I talked to my manager and I conveyed him that I might not be able to work from office. So assign me something where I can work remotely. So I got the same. I put into same project where I'm currently working from home. Only thing was this client visit that I explained. And I also said my team is very supportive. This happens only when you try to explain them the things. Try to explain them, and at the same time, do not take it uh, uh, like you have to prove. As Aarti said already, you have to prove yourself. Make sure that you are delivering things on time by like by taking some free time as well.
Sure. Yeah, no, no, very true. All right. So that's probably I being selfish over there, and I want you to know more. But I'll let you continue to your topic, which we are waiting for. Uh, Jyoti, let me let me know if you want me to change any slide in between,
Yeah.
or probably if you share your screen.
Uh, No, it's okay. So we can stay in this slide. So, yeah, guys, today I'm going to talk about two of the functionalities under DataWave 2.0. Again, when I say DataWave, it's a vast topic in itself. Within that, I have picked only these two functionalities. The reason for going with these two components of functionalities is that uh, um, they can come in handy. They are not, I'm not saying like they are one-stop solution for any particular problem statement or use case like that, but they can come handy for some particular use cases, which we'll see during the demonstration. Sunil, can you move to next slide? So we'll see a little bit about what is this dictionary and the dynamic evaluate, then we can jump on to demonstration. Okay. So about dictionary, as the line says, dictionary is a collection of unordered collection of key value pairs uh, or objects which are associated with particular key. In terms of MuleSoft, we can store store n number of key value pairs under the folder called as dictionary, and we can make use of that collection dynamically within our code. But these values should be static. So what we usually do whenever we have such use case, we usually go for choice condition if my key value pairs are very less, or else we will go for some data wave logic. We write some if else condition, or maybe sometimes we go for database as well. But this is also one of the solution where we can go with dictionary. We can store that huge chunk of key value pairs in some place, and we can read them dynamically whenever we require. As and when we receive some key, on top of the key, we can fetch the value based on that key. Okay. So these are some of the benefits of like using dictionary. Yeah. Okay. So we can use it as efficient data storage, and code readability will be improved if we are going with the dictionary rather than some if else logic or choice condition like that. And data sharing would be easy. Yeah, so now you can move to next slide. Okay, dynamic evaluate. It's a component, dynamic evaluate, as the name says. It reads DWL expression dynamically. So it is not that like in each and every component we will be having that function option available, right? If we enable the function, we can write any data wave script in it. It works little differently. We can pass a DWL script to it, and it will execute that script. So how we can make use of it? We can read the DWL files, and we can read any DWLs. We can write as many DWL files as we want, and we can read them and dynamically pass to this component. What it does is it will help us reducing the usage of these transform message components. Right? We can use one component and read multiple DWL files dynamically. Okay. I guess next we'll move on to the demonstration. There we can see how it works. Sonal, you can move to next slide. Okay, this is the use case I have taken very like small use case, where what I'll do is I have created a REST application. It receives color code, and as a response, it expects list of fruits related to that color code. If I'm sending yellow, it will list out all the fruits which are yellow. Okay, and this is very childish use case I have taken, but I thought it would explain the topic easily. Okay, so now I guess I'll share my screen. You can unshare the screen. Okay, just let me know if my screen is visible to you guys. Yeah. Is my screen visible?
Yes, Jyoti, we can see your screen.
Okay. This application is already running. So as I said, for that, I have created this REST application, and right now I'm using choice, and we'll make the changes to make use of those two functionalities which I explained about. So what I'm doing here is from the postman, whenever I pass any color. Right now I'm passing green in the headers and I'm receiving the fruits in green. I have taken only three colors right now and red. So these functionalities come are more helpful when we get more and more multipliers, like 1,000 and more. We cannot kept on adding the new routes to choice, right? And also we cannot kept on increasing our code length. So at that time, maybe we can go with such functionalities. Okay. What I'm doing here is, whatever header I'm receiving, I'm just setting it to a variable. Then I have taken a choice condition. I'm putting condition upon the color code. If it is yellow, yellow fruits, and in the data view, um, I'm simply listing out the fruits with some prefix as a color code. Okay. So this is simpler, right? As I said, if my key value pairs goes on increasing, uh, I may have to increase this choice router as well, which doesn't look good. That is one solution. Let me stop this application. I've written one more possible solution, like generic one. I'll comment it out. What I'll do is I'll add the code over here itself. This is one more generic solution I have written. Guys, let me know if you have any doubts or questions. Okay, this is if else condition. This is how, in general, we write, right? But what if I'm getting more and more colors? This code will keep on increasing. Okay, this I'm not going to run. What I'll do, I'll start writing the code for dynamic validator. I'll drag one dynamic component. Okay, this is how the component looks like. So here we have two sections. One is parameters and one under one is expression. Under expression, uh, we can refer to some variables, which is in return referring to some DWL file. So we'll do it. But before that, I'll also drag one set variable where I can refer to DWL files. So I showed you the choice condition, right? So whichever code I have written DWL files, I have created DWL scripts under DWL folder over here. So that is what I was referring to in the choice condition as well. I'll make use of the same DWL files, but using this dynamic component. What I'll do, I'll also remove this function. We'll try to make use of this parameter uh, uh, component parameter option. So what does this parameter do is if we have to pass any dynamic value which is part of mule message, we can pass it using this parameter section. So, but before that, we'll set a variable. I'll set a variable called getDWL. Okay. In order to read the DWL files, how can we read them? We can probably make use of read URL, right? I can write the code, or else I can make use of the code which I have already kept ready. Just in order to save the time, I have kept uh, everything which I need ready over here in this mode. So here, I paste it. So what I'm doing here is, if my color code is red, go and read the red DWL file which is having a list of red fruits. And similarly for green and yellow, I have done. And default, I'm setting as invalid color. It will pick the DWL file dynamically and passes it to dynamic evaluator. And if we try to read it in other format, right? For example, if we try to read it as a application JSON or something else, what it does is it will remove this section of the script, which is not read by dynamic evaluator. That is the reason I'm reading it as it is using text plain. I need this whole script content to be going to my dynamic evaluator. Let me see this. In the dynamic evaluate, I'll try to read the same variable that I have created. Okay, and we'll pass that parameter. What I want is, as we said in the postman, as we saw in the postman, I want that color code to be added as a prefix. So initially we saw in the script I had created a variable and I commented it out. Rather, I want it to be passed from here as a parameter. I'll say prefix colon. It will be start color code. Yeah, this looks fine. Okay, let me run it. Let me show you guys how the script is going to dynamic evaluate. Application is up and running. I'll try to put the same URL. It's in debug now. Okay, this is how the script is getting passed to my dynamic evaluator. So I received the response. Let me remove the point. Try with some other colors. As you can see, it is taking the prefix as well dynamically. I'll terminate this. Now again, anybody has any questions till now? Okay, I'll take it as no. So again, you can raise the question, what is the point? I'm writing the same thing. I'm doing the same thing here. I'm writing if-else conditions on top of TWL files. At this point of time, we'll try to make use of dictionary functionality. So what I'll do is I'll create a directory folder and name it as dictionary. Just let me know if I'm doing any typos. In the dictionary, we'll create a file. This time I'm going to create the JSON file. I'll name it as DWL list. Okay, here what I have to do is I'll simply provide the name. Right now, I'm going to provide the key value pairs for my requirement. I'll provide the color codes and then my DWL file name. Again, this I have kept ready already. So let me copy it. Okay, this looks good. One thing about this is these key value pairs has to be static. As in when new key value pairs comes in the requirement, we have to just add them. But again, if any modification is required, again we have to touch the code. We have to come in here and make the changes. So my file is ready. Then I'll write a small function, like a package. It has module. I'll write a module function. Okay, here again we have to write the function. Let me take it from here. Uh, my typing is low. I'm worried if I get too much of time to write these things. Okay, so the function is something like this. I have created a function called as from dictionary, which reads two values. One is main value, which will be our color code in our use case, and the dictionary. And what it does is it reads the dictionary file. It reads it from that location and chooses the value of the key which we are passing in the value section. Let me save it. Okay, now we'll modify our variable. I'll remove all of it. We'll import the from dictionary from module util. And here we'll again use the read URL. We'll read the DWL file, but this time we'll read it dynamically. Class dot DWL. Okay. Then my file will be picked dynamically. What is the name? From dictionary. Okay, there is typo. From dictionary. So I want to pass the color code and then pick it from DWL list .json file. Okay, this looks fine. Okay, there are no typos here, right? Let me run it. It looks fine to me. Okay, let's run and see. This time I'll run it. Okay. Yeah, it's working. Okay, let me pass some other color. Okay. Yeah, guys, that is it from my end. We observed how we reduced like like huge code into just a smaller code piece by making use of dynamic evaluate and dictionary functionalities. Let me know if you have any doubts.
Thanks, Jyoti. It was really great to see, to those features that you have shown and the great demo and the use case that you have put. I'm sure, means I have learned a new feature, and I'm sure our attendees will say the same thing. If any of you guys have any questions, let us know. And if you guys want to join with us as well, please feel free to ping us. You can join our LinkedIn group, Women Who Mule LinkedIn group, and you can also join Women Who Mule APEC Mules of Meetup group, so that for the next events you will get um, all the notifications. And we would love to hear from you as well, what you would like to see next, what topic, either it's any product feature or any use case, anything that you want to see in our meetup. Please let us know. Panel discussion, or it's about you, and I always says it's about our audience, which makes us successful, or which makes these meetups worthwhile. I'll And I think so. There is this one question, Jyoti, before we go, if you want to take quickly. In dynamic evaluate, is parameter a mandatory field?
No, Rahul, it's not a mandatory field. We can skip it. We can just make use of expression section. Sorry.
Cool. So it's not mandatory. Thanks, Rahul, for your question. And thank you all. I really appreciate your time and your patience. I know we have gone 10 minutes above. And there is another question, Jyoti. I don't, because as I said, this meetup is all about you guys. So I don't want to stop over here. I'll probably take this question as well from Jitin, who want to know dynamic evaluate is primarily for if and else.
No, Jitan, it's not like that. I gave an example which had if and else, but you can, as per your use case, you can make use of it. See, I'll explain one of my project's requirement where we have, like, we are using multiple queue names. We have to choose queue names dynamically. So there we are using this component. So you can make use as per your requirement. It's not specifically for if else to replace if else conditions or like that. I
Okay.
hope it answered your question.
Chetan, do you have any follow-up question? Your Q names are good. Okay. Any other questions before uh, we say a goodbye to everyone? But you guys can contact afterward as well. Jyoti is part of the MuleSoft community as well. Aarti is part of your MuleSoft community. We are part of MuleSoft community. So, guys, feel free to reach out to us. And really, thanks for your time and for your patience. And we'll see you next time. Yeah. Raji, do you want to have any closing note?
No, Sonal, nothing specific, but thanks a lot for joining. We have the recording as well now. So, looking forward to the next meetup.
Yeah.
We're thinking we'll have it more often, at least the virtual ones. So, Sonal, yeah,
Yes, guys.
we'll try to schedule the next one. Yeah.
Sure. All right.
Thanks
Thanks, everyone.
everyone for
Have a
joining.
good time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Bye.